干旱之地，亲近你，聆听你声音。主，我愿贴近你的心，顺服你旨意，讨主你欢喜。你的爱使我灵苏醒，使我灵欢喜，我起舞敬拜你。亲近你，心要亲近你，亲近你，心要贴近你，亲爱主，在你荣光中，不住亲近你，不住敬拜你。亲近你，在干旱之地，亲近你，聆听你声音。主，我愿贴近你的心，顺服你旨意，讨主你欢喜。你的爱使我灵苏醒，使我灵欢喜，我起舞敬拜你。你的爱使我灵苏醒，使我灵欢喜，我起舞敬拜你。主，我愿贴近你的心，顺服你旨意，讨主你欢喜。亲爱主，在你荣光中，不住亲近你，不住敬拜你。你的爱使我灵苏醒，使我灵欢喜，我起舞敬拜你。
Andy from English service from Blacktown Chinese Christian Church. Just here to tell you a little bit about my part in how this church came to have this, how we could see this miracle in getting this campsite. From the beginning, it was really it was just a very small thing because it was my friend from uni, just who works down in Canberra, just happened to come up and go to the Asian grocery across the road. And she messaged me and just asked me to come down and have a little catch up. And she was with her parents, so so when I went down to see them, I invited them to come into the church and have a look, see how our church looks like. But as we come in, we saw the poster for this movie, which unfortunately I couldn't actually read this movie poster, but all I knew was that this movie was happening the week after. So I asked her parents, whether they wanted to come and watch this movie, and they were happily said, they'll come the next week. The week after, I didn't even know whether or not they came to the church to come watch this movie because I didn't watch it. But it was only a good couple of weeks or a couple of months later that I found out that they actually did come, and it was a really this really chance meeting that they actually knew Sky and William so well from so many years ago, and and how suddenly this campsite topic came up as well. So through this campsite, I could see how it was all part of God's plan to kind of bring them here. It was acquired that during that time I happened to have 7 months of unemployment, and during those 7 months, I was given opportunities to help move the furniture and help start setting up this campsite. And it was really God's big planning and His timing that could see how just as we finished moving everything up, that the next week I got a call saying I could start work. So
we knew William and Sky way back, and we haven't seen each other for at least 10 years or more, yeah? Yes. And then it was through my daughters who knew Andy from this church. We often come and do shopping over here, and so my daughter always says, while you shop, I'll go and meet Andy. So it was through this contact that we knew Andy. And one day Andy said to me, Auntie, why don't you come? We got a Chinese movie in the church in the afternoon. Come and join us. And then had a look at the movie, and I said, okay, we're not doing anything, we'll come and join it. It was that afternoon that we came to see the movie, and as we parked the car in the car park, is when the first time we saw William. And Richard was like, shocked, William, what are you doing here? And he was like, Dr. G, what are you doing here? And that was the beginning of the contact. And that's when they started the conversation, saying that, I've been in this church for so long, and we're working here, and Sky's here. And then he then mentioned, out of the blue, nothing at all, he just mentioned, we're looking for a farm, And then he says, I've got a farm that I want to sell. We're looking for a farm that I want to buy. And that was the miracle. Like, we haven't seen each other. We didn't know what each one had, and that was the beginning.
After a while, we took him to the property to see the farm, and he was very interested. And he told us that he said, look, we've been looking to buy a property like this for a long, long time. And after looking for quite a few years, we gave up because we just couldn't find anything that's suitable. So now we just pray and ask God that if He wants us to buy a farm, He will bring it to us. So he said, your being here is an answer to prayer, because we didn't look anymore for farms. But then, you come along, you got a farm, and we see the farm, we like it, so it's an answer to prayer. And therefore, that's how we got together. It has always been my passion to do the work of God and of Jesus, and knowing that that Sky and William are both Christians, and their desire to serve God and to use a property like ours to train young people to do the Lord's work is something that I was very keen to support, because that's what we always have been doing ourselves in our own individual Christian work and in a Christian life. And so when he was quite interested in doing this, we were happy to sell him the farm, and so I think for that reason we are both of the same, what we call, wavelength, and knowing that he can use this property that will further the gospel commission and bring more people to Jesus. This is something that we are very supportive of, and we will continue to support him in whatever way we can. And being the owner of the place now for the last 10 years, I know all about the place. We spend a lot of time doing different work on the place and upkeeping it and looking after it. So it's not a difficult thing to continue doing this work. And I hope that in the future we will continue to help Sky and William to maintain the place, look after the place, and if we can help in any other way we can possible, then we will be happy to do that.
We worked and had our own business in the medical field, and he decided that it's time to move on, and he wanted the business and everything to be sold. And I was a bit upset, because I said, if you sell the business, what about the farm? Because they all work together. And he says, look, we'll take one step at a time. So we sold the business as God indicated for us to sell. And we did sell the business, which was our butter and bread, really, And then the farm was sitting down there. And I said, well, once you sell the business, you have to sell the farm. And so we put the farm on the market. We have had a farm on the market, but we had one buyer, didn't we? We had one buyer who put a deposit down, but fell through. Didn't go through at all. It went. They paid the deposit, everything, and they were going to buy the farm, and it never went through. And so the farm went back on the market again. And it was during this time that we met William and Sky. So it's amazing journey. Amazing journey. And it's been a pleasure to meet Sky and William, to pray with them, and to share their vision. And so it's been a good journey.
I must add, I really find it very heartwarming to know that Sky and William are so much on fire to do the Lord's work. It's encouraging to myself and my wife to know that there are people who are still very keen to see the gospel message to be spread around the world through their contribution in whatever work they want to do. And William and Sky has always been encouraging in both word and action, in showing that they want to be part to do the Lord's work and to uplift the name of Jesus.
Our meetings have always been in prayer and often in tears.
使我灵欢喜，我起舞敬拜你。